So that's looking how we want it. One thing I want to change is notice that when the rabbit's eating, he's behind the cabbage. And it really seems to me it would look better if he's in front of the cabbage instead of behind. Not a significant deal, but let me show you how that can change. So the easiest way to do this, you can do it with a z-index, but images are in the order that you put them unless you change them. So I can do this really in a simple way. I can take the rabbit out and simply put it after the cabbage, which will put him, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I got rid of the farmer. I wanted to move the rabbit. So I'm going to put the rabbit after the cabbage, and then he'll be on top. So it starts with the farmer, then on top of that is cabbage, and on top of that is the rabbit. So I just did that in my HTML. And now let's see, tell the story. Farmer leaves, rabbit comes. Here's the farmer, comes around, goes back. All right, now let's change it. Remember we were doing this fast for development purposes. Let's go ahead and change it to 30 seconds, which is what we really want to tell the story. And I'm going to change it on all of them so they move together. I'm going to say I want the animation to last 30 seconds. And save it. I'm going to make this wide enough that we can see the whole thing. I don't know if I can make it tall enough on this little baby screen. Oh yeah, we get most of it, except the borders. Okay, let's watch the whole thing happen. Here's the farmer watching the cabbage grow. He thinks everything's fine, so he turns around to leave. And here comes the rabbit. The rabbit gets clear to the cabbage, starts eating. Oh, the top farmer turns around. Rabbit turns around, runs away. And there we have our whole story. Now, there's other things that we could do. So, like you could have words come on, you could have words come and stay with the person, whichever one's thinking them or saying them. But words were done in your last activity, the one that we did out of the textbook. So I'm going to leave that up to that exposure so you'll learn how to do that. But the other thing that I want to make sure you understand is that you can change other properties. Okay, so the only one that I've used here is transform, but I could change other properties as well. So each of these, I could change the width property, I can change the color property. So you can have a series of properties here. These are just images. So we could even change the source, right? If we had a cabbage image that had a bite out of it, we could change the SRC attribute of that ID. So lots of things that you can change, and you would do transform is a single property, and you separate the rotate and the translate by a space, because transform is the property and it can have a series of values. Okay, but if you were going to have another property change, you would put it after the semicolon and you'd say, okay, now this is another property, so change this property to this value. And that's how you do CSS animation. So good luck with that. I hope you enjoy telling a story with CSS animation.